Jim Bianco, an obsession over the communication difference between former Fed Chair Janet Yellen and incoming Chairman Jay Powell. What is the difference you're looking for next week?
Well, there should be an obsession about it because Jay Powell spoke a couple of weeks ago in congressional testimony, and for the first time in I can't remember how long, I actually understood most of the answers that he said.
You mean because he answered a question, Jim?
Yeah, he answered the questions. He actually used short sentences, and it was very clear what he was trying to say. So under a Powell press conference next week, I suspect we're going to see more of the same. He's going to be asked a specific question, and we're going to get an answer that we can understand. And I would agree with Scott Minerd in your previous thing that we're probably going to get more hints that we're going to see 3 or 4 rate hikes as opposed to 2 or 3 rate hikes when the whole thing is done. Alessio,
is it inevitable that we grind to 4 for this year, grind towards 4?
At the moment, I think that's also our view. And then I think that's largely what the market expects at this point. Starting with next week's meeting, we are really focusing on whether they will move the terminal rate higher. That has not moved in all since the dots have been published, and I think that's where the key piece of information may come from a long-term standpoint.
Just to jump in, the dots up on the screen, the story on the far side of that picture, if we can put it back up, is where the terminal rate is, and all that's happened over the last few years is that terminal rate has gone lower, it's gone lower, it's gone lower, it's gone lower, and the Fed keeps revising it lower. Why does that change anytime soon?
Because if you think also about the perspective of where the doves on the FOMC are, such as Brainard, you know, the movement in the committee seems to be the realization that all those headwinds that were coming mostly from global factors are now becoming tailwinds.
Yeah.
And that provides, from a distribution of the views, it provides a very important shift. And the realization that now you have, additional to that, you have some signs that inflation has stabilized. Remember, last year was very odd to see that deceleration in inflation at that stage in the cycle. And the third piece is the further boost from fiscal expansion at a stage in the cycle where you typically don't get fiscal expansion. When you put it all together, the odds are now tilted for an innovation in that direction, for an increase in the terminal rate.